Hi, everybody, and welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's basketball here at the Convocation Center in Ypsilanti, Michigan for the second half of the Michigan Wolverines road game against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. My name is Nick Hornberg, alongside me, Ryan Buckman. We'd like to apologize we were not able to bring you the first half due to technical difficulties, but Ryan, big first half it was for Michigan, a 26-9 lead going into the break.
Yeah, there was definitely a very physical start to that game, especially in that first quarter. It was a little bit sloppy, though, by both sides. Turnovers on each end kind of cost both teams. And a lot of, I wouldn't say great shot selection, but I think it was a lot trying to get their people's feet from under them so the players could really create better opportunities.
Yes, and Naz Hillman pacing the Wolverines, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Bit of an outing Michigan fans have come to expect from the sophomore from Toledo, as Eastern Michigan just does not seem to have an answer at this current moment.
Not at all right now. See, Michigan was able to get a little bit of a run there towards the end of the first half. They were able to hit, about 9 points within about a couple minutes there.
Yeah, as neither team hit a three until about a minute and a half left in the first half, when Priscilla Smingy broke the cold drought for both teams, and then Amy Dilk hit a buzzer-beating three-point shot to close out the half and give Michigan the 17-point lead that they now have.
I'm more looking forward to a more clean second half, hopefully by Michigan, where I spread out the floor a little bit and get some good looks as well. Right now, I believe your leading scorer for Michigan is, if I can correct.
Michigan, it is Naz Hillman.
Naz Hillman.
As Eastern Michigan about ready to start this second half, Michigan taking a little bit of extra time, as Kim Barnes-Arico no doubt has some things to both be happy about and to be a little disappointed in, particularly the shooting early on in the game. Michigan, at least early in the game, as stated, did not shoot the ball well. And now Michigan starting five take the floor for the second half, and Michigan's going to trot their starting five out there to start. Amy Dilk, Kenray Johnson, Kayla Robbins, Haley Brown, and Naz Hillman. Eastern Michigan also going to play their starting five with Jenna Anachirico. Going to start and lays it off to Juanita Agosto. Agosto's going to charge into the paint before getting out to Anachirico. Anachirico at the high point. Going to play it inside and going to try and go for the layup, but Haley Brown steals the ball from Autumn Hudson, and good transition defense by Eastern Michigan, as Michigan forced to slow it down. Kenray Johnson at the halfway line, guarded by Aaliyah Stanley. Now going to give it to Amy Dilk on the left side. Dilk off the screen from Naz Hillman. Dilk plays it back to Kenray Johnson at the corner, tries to play a bounce pass inside to Naz Hillman. Hillman forced to have it stolen away, and Pineda going to charge, guarded by Amy Dilk, but ultimately forced back. Now Pineda going to try and move into the paint. Pineda gives it off to Agosto, and Agosto plays it back to Anachirico, and Kayla Robbins able to tip the ball away, but Anachirico able to recover. And Robbins goes down, and
it is a foul on Robbins.
Indeed, the foul was called on Kayla Robbins. Robbins has already drawn one charge in this game. And Pineda plays it to Anachirico. Chirico at the high point, going to move to her right and give it off to Stanley. Stanley loses the ball. I don't know if Brown got a touch to that, but Pineda recovers. Now Pineda's going to drive into the lane, and the shot from Agosto, and Eastern Michigan hits their first three and the first points of the second half. 26-12 now, Michigan's lead. And Haley Brown gives the ball to Kenray Johnson on the left side. Off the screen from Hillman. Johnson to Brown. Back to Robbins. Robbins loses control of the ball but able to recover. And Michigan resets. Robbins going to drive into the lane. Robbins is going to go up and is denied. But Michigan is going to retain possession. That was Kiara Johnson who will get credit for the block. But Michigan will retain possession. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Could need a quick shot right here.
Dilk, as usual, going to play the inbound. Dilk into Johnson. Akenray Johnson's going to go up, and Akenray Johnson hits the layup in traffic, and Michigan's lead extended back out to 16. And Ana Chirico is going to give it to Pineda. Now back to Ana Chirico. Thought about shooting, but is going to drive into the lane, and a bit of an off-balance shot. Cannot go, and the ball goes out of bounds. Eastern Michigan will retain possession off of Haley Brown. And quick inbound. Stanley for three at the corner. Cannot go, but rebound Agosto. Now on a Chirico from the other corner. That one also can't go, but goes all the way around the rim. Akenray Johnson barely keeps it in. Now Dilk playing fast to Danielle Roach. Roach looking for the interior pass to Hillman, and now Haley Brown at the high point. Over the top to Hillman, but goes right through the hands of Naz Hillman, and Eastern Michigan will get the ball back.
I feel like she had a good opportunity right there. She was able to hold on to that ball.
And Ana Chirico slowing it down for Eastern Michigan. 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ana Chirico to Agosto. Agosto into the lane, goes up for the wild shot and airballs it straight to Naz Hillman. And Hillman to Johnson. Ball long over the top to Roach, and now into Haley Brown, and somehow missed the easy layup, but offensive rebound for Akenray Johnson, but Eastern Michigan going to retain possession. Stanley going to drive into the lane, and a steal, more like an interception by Danielle Rauch. Rauch is going to slow it down, move to her left. Rauch is going to go straight to the baseline. Rauch is going to go up and draws the foul and makes the shot. And Michigan first to 30, 30 to 12.
I feel like Michigan's gotten their feet from under them, and they were able to play a little bit better here in the second half to prepare that first half.
Danielle Rauch. Can she complete the and one? No. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Ana Chirico. Eastern Michigan trying to push the tempo. Ana Chirico is going to drive straight into the lane. She's going to go up, and that one will not go. Ana Chirico, I think, wants the foul.
I believe it was a loose ball.
Ball goes out of bounds, and Eastern Michigan will retain possession. Ana Chirico, long to Lewis, who just entered the game. Lewis for three, and that's good. Both of Eastern Michigan's made baskets in the third quarter have been threes. 30 to 15 now. Michigan has the Eagles doubled up. Akenray Johnson takes the inbound and gives it to Isabel Verajao in the game for the first time. In the game for the first time this half. And Johnson over the top to Naz Hillman. Hillman has the ball stripped. Lewis goes to the floor. Rauch goes on too, and they're going to call jump ball, Michigan possession.
Seems like both teams are more put together here in this second half as well. They were able to create opportunities, I think, that weren't there in the first half.
Brief conversation between the referees as Amy Dilk goes to the bench. Michelle Sedor will enter the game, make her first appearance of the second half. Rauch going to deliver the inbound and gets it to Sedor. Sedor moves to high point, now gives it to Akenray Johnson at the corner. Johnson off the screen from Sedor. Now gives it to Rauch. Over the top to Verajao. Verajao loses it, and Agosto's going to drive straight to the layup. She's going to go up, draw the foul, will not go, but Eastern Michigan will have an opportunity to shoot too.
Got a little beat there on the breakaway there for Eastern Michigan. Now Eastern Michigan will have two.
And that entry pass over the top worked so well for this offense last season. Usually Amy Dilk over the top to Hallie Thoman, Naz Hillman, but both Hillman and Verajao have struggled to control that entry pass in this game, as Juanita Agosto's first free throw bounces off the back of the rim and falls through. Agosto got a bit of a unique shot. Left hand is the controlling hand. And shout out from the chest, a little bit reminiscent of Sean Marion, as the second one does not go, rebounded by Naz Hillman. Hillman to Rauch. Rauch to Johnson at the top. Johnson's going to go for three, and off the backboard and in. Ana Chirico takes the inbound from Lewis. Pineda to Ana Chirico, way across court to Lewis. Lewis is going to drive from baseline. Lewis is going to go up and get fouled by Isabel Varejao. And an opportunity again to shoot 2 free throws for the Eagles.
I believe that was Varejao's second on her.
Courtney Lewis, junior from Belton, Missouri, will shoot 2. Lewis is first. Misses, bounces off the left side of the rim, and then out away from the basket. Can she hit the second? They called a lane violation.
I didn't really see much there.
On Eastern Michigan, and Michigan just gets possession, and Eastern Michigan can't convert anything from the free throw opportunity. Rauch takes the inbound. Eastern Michigan's pressing high up the court. Kenray Johnson's barely able to control the outlet pass from Danielle Rauch, and Johnson fights through 2 defenders, but is fouled. And first, Rauch is going to take the inbound, but it's actually going to be Cedor. Cedor plays the outlet to Rauch. Danielle Rauch at the high point. Cedor moves all the way across court before taking the pass. Over the top to Johnson. Johnson to Hillman at the free throw line. Over the top to Varejao. Varejao goes up from about 5 feet, and that goes 35-16 now, Michigan's lead.
Made that look easy. She's got the height advantage definitely right there.
Ana Chirico to Pineda, now to Courtney Lewis. Lewis going to drive again. Lewis goes up and is fouled again. This time it's Danielle Rauch. Courtney Lewis is going to have an opportunity again to shoot 2. And that is the under 5 media timeout. The score, Michigan 35, Eastern Michigan 16. The Eagles acquitting themselves a little better in the third quarter, but Michigan still out in front by a pretty sizable margin.
Yeah, that's for sure. I definitely think that right now Michigan's more talent is definitely starting to pay dividends here in the second half. And I think being able to take care of the ball a little bit better, I think in this half for Michigan has been able to help them as well.
As the lead 35-16 now in favor of Michigan. Naz Hillman, no points in the second half, but 2 more rebounds. She's up to 8 rebounds on the day. Kenray Johnson now leads Michigan in scoring, 9 points and 6 rebounds. A strong second half as, Ryan, what do we have parachuting down from the ceiling?
I have no idea.
I'm seeing rolls of paper. I have no idea.
Posters? Maybe?
That's a good guess.
They just keep falling.
Yeah, they're still coming. We're not, again, not sure what they are.
Oh, no.
Either way, both teams, team talks going along as Isabel Varejao, the last scorer for either team. Isabel Varejao has the height advantage, as you said, Ryan, on almost everybody in the world of women's college basketball.
That's for sure. And definitely, there's not been a lot of height on this floor today, but definitely for her, it's been a big advantage. And I think It's, I'm surprised she actually doesn't have many more rebounds than she has right now. She has only 2 rebounds.
Indeed, Vera Zhao, a non-traditional big, likes to play a little farther from the basket.
Yes.
Naz Hillman, much more conventional in that regard. And it's showing on the score sheet as Eastern Michigan retakes the floor.
Yes, Naz Hillman is a very good all-around player, too. I mean, she is definitely all over the place during the game.
As Autumn Hudson has re-entered the game for the Eagles. Courtney Lewis, once play resumes, is going to shoot 2. And both teams on the floor. Courtney Lewis's first free throw is no good at one left-sided miss. Lewis's second is good. And it's 35-17 now. Eastern Michigan playing the full court press, but Michigan able to recover, at least in the short term. Hillman over the top to Cedor. Cedor is trapped, but she's able to get away from it. And now, bit of an over the top pass to Johnson, and now Danielle Rauch at the corner. Rauch moves to the high point. Rauch looking for an entry pass, gives it to a Kenray Johnson. Johnson to Cedor. Cedor to the baseline to Vera Zhao in the post. Vera Zhao and a little dump off to Naz Hillman, and
nice find.
Naz Hillman gets her first points of the second half. 8 and 8 now for Naz Hillman. And Ana Chirico up top, gives it to Agosto. Agosto going to drive to the baseline and lays it off to Pineda for 3, and that's good. Eastern Michigan has hit 3 threes in the third quarter, as we're under 4 minutes now in said third quarter. And Cedor gives it to Rauch. 37-20 now the score in Michigan's favor. Rauch trying to direct traffic, looking for a pass, passes it around Pineda to a Kenray Johnson. Johnson going to drive into the paint. Johnson lays it off to Rauch for 3, and that one airballs and is out of bounds. No! Rebounded by a Kenray Johnson, actually Naz Hillman rather, but a shot clock violation as Isabel Vera Zhao not able to get it off.
That was a very good defensive stand there by Eastern Michigan. A little bit of poor clock management there, though, as well by Michigan. Need to be a little bit more aware of the clock right there.
Ana Chirico moves to her left, gives it to Aaliyah Stanley. Stanley going to drive into the lane. Stanley, the floating hook shot, and that goes. And it's 37-22 now. Eastern Michigan laying off a little bit on the pressure. Dilk gives it to Cedor. Amy Dilk has re-entered the game. Cedor to a Kenray Johnson at the high point, and over the top to Vera Zhao with a little jump shot from 5 feet.
Easy.
Bounces off the backboard and in.
At least she makes it look easy.
Ana Chirico moves left. Now to Stanley. Stanley goes up and is blocked by Vera Zhao, but that looked like that hurt, and it'll be out of bounds. I think Eastern Michigan retains possession.
The way her arm came down, I thought it was almost a foul, but I guess not. This is just a nice block.
And the quick inbound to Stanley. Stanley's going to go straight to the baseline, and the underneath layup is good. And Dilk plays a quick pass to Robbins. Robbins trying to play with tempo. Kayla Robbins is fouled. And now Robbins will shoot too.
That was good recognition by Michigan to get that up the floor in a hurry. Catch Eastern Michigan a little off guard.
Kayla Robbins. Take the first free throw, 2.5 minutes left, and Robbins' first throw is good. First free throw is good. makes it 40-24 with 2 minutes 29 seconds left in the third quarter. Robbins shoots, and that one rims out as ball goes out of bounds. Isabel Verajao claims it wasn't off her, but the referee determines out of bounds off Verajao. And Ana Chirico. Chirico's going to drive against Dilk. Gives it off to Agosto. Agosto to Pineda. Pineda at the high point, guarded by Naz Hillman. Pineda going to enter the lane, and a high shot off the backboard and in. Eastern Michigan starting to heat up a little bit. Amy Dilk pushing the tempo to Akenray Johnson. Over the top to Hillman. Hillman going to pass to Verajao. Verajao for three, and off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Johnson, but
A little bit of a rushed possession right there.
Ana Chirico to Kiara Johnson at the high point. Now gives it to Stanley. Bit of a messed up affair, but the kick called on Kayla Robbins, denying Aaliyah Stanley the entry pass into Kiara Johnson. As Emily Kaiser enters for the first time in the second half. Isabel Verajao will go to the floor.
Switching height for height there.
Ana Chirico all the way back, almost to the halfway line to Agosto. Agosto to Pineda. Pineda gives it to Ana Chirico. Ana Chirico going to drive into the lane, going to throw it up, but ultimately airballs it. But offensive rebound by Johnson, and Kiara Johnson is fouled by Emily Kaiser, and Eastern Michigan once again will go to the charity stripe.
It's not how you want to come into a game and then pick up a foul right away in the next play.
Eastern Michigan now in the bonus for the third quarter. Thankfully for Emily Kaiser, Kim Barnes-Arico is not John Beeline. She does not adhere to the auto bench rule.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kiara Johnson's first free throw is good. Makes it 40-27 now. Johnson's second free throw is no good and rebounded by Akenray Johnson. There is no relation. Johnson going to drive and has it stolen by Aaliyah Stanley. Stanley's going to try and take it herself. She's going to go up and lay it off to Pineda. Pineda wide open for three and off the front of the rim, but rebounded. Excellent effort play by Agosto. Now Stanley's going to drive. Stanley goes up and is fouled by Emily Kaiser.
Eastern Michigan's definitely trying to pick it up aggressively right now and catch Michigan a little off guard.
Eastern Michigan
Commit
playing
a foul.
very aggressively on the offensive end.
A little bit of forced shot, but they were able to draw the foul nonetheless.
Aaliyah Stanley's first free throw is no good. Rims out barely. And that is Maddie Nolan checking over at the scorer's table for Michigan. Stanley's second free throw is good, and they will allow the substitution. Akenray Johnson will go to the bench. And Akenray Johnson getting some instructions from Coach Arico. Amy Dilk takes the inbound. Off to Kaiser, back to Dilk.
A little bit of four-court pressure here.
And Dilk's pass batted away out of bounds by Ana Chirico. Michigan will keep possession. Kim Barnes-Arico seething on the sidelines. And Dilk ready to deliver the inbound. Dilk gives it to Nolan. Nolan on the turn to Emily Kaiser in the post. Kaiser goes up, has it blocked, but is fouled by Pineda. 51 seconds in the third quarter. That is slowed to a crawl.
That's for sure.
And
how many stoppages have we had?
A lot. And Emily Kaiser will shoot two. Kaiser, a sophomore, did not play much as a freshman. Kaiser's first is good. Kaiser's second is no good. Nobody's been able to hit free throws consistently, and we have a collision as Anna Chirico went for the rebound and collided with the cheerleaders. For a second, it looked like she was in a lot of pain, but she's up and playing. But it's out of bounds off Eastern Michigan, so Amy Dilk will stand to take the inbound. The referee's talking about something. Not sure what.
Clock, maybe?
I don't think so. The clock hasn't changed. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, the shot clock, I think. I think they had to reset it back to 20, and they did take a little off the game clock.
They took 0.6 of a second. There's now 51 seconds on the dot remaining.
51.3 now.
And whistle blows, and Amy Dilk takes the inbound, and over the top to Robbins. Robbins goes up, cannot get it to go, but Robbins strips away the defensive rebound from Kiara Johnson, and then is able to draw the foul.
Ooh.
Fantastic effort play by Kayla Robbins.
That was like a 5-second play before another stoppage.
As Autumn Hudson re-enters the game. And Michigan's now in the bonus. Kayla Robbins will shoot too, despite not being fouled in the act of shooting. And a little bit of discord for substitutions. Actually, no, just a positioning issue for Eastern Michigan. Kim Barnes-Arico going over a few instructions with Amy Dilk. Robbins' first free throw hits off the front of the rim and cannot go. Neither team shooting 50% from the free throw line. And now the referees are talking over something else. Kim Barnes-Arico is furious. I have no idea why play is stopped. Either way, Robbins is going to shoot a second. Robbins' second free throw is good. And 42-28 now, 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Anna Chirico moves to the right side, moves to the left rather. Chirico high to Stanley. Stanley trapped by Dilk, and Chirico
It's a foul.
Is fouled by Amy Dilk. Kim Barnes-Arico is staring at nothing in particular as another stoppage of play in this third quarter.
Oh, it never ends. You could spend 10 minutes for the last 2 minutes of this quarter.
Aaliyah Stanley's first free throw cannot go, as neither team loving life at the free throw line right now.
Free throws.
Stanley's
Killers.
second is good, though. And it's 42-29 now, as a couple substitutions made, I believe, just for Eastern Michigan, though. Kaiser plays the inbound to Dilk. Dilk going to give it back to Kaiser. Overhead pass to Hillman. Naz Hillman's re-entered the game. That's Michigan's substitution. Hillman to Robbins. Robbins fakes the give and go with Dilk. 15 seconds left. Shot clock and game clock almost even. Hillman to Nolan. Referee's obscuring my view. Nolan moves left. Now Hillman. Hillman overhead to Robbins. Robbins goes up and gets it to go. And that's going to be the last shot of the third quarter, as a third quarter that took forever finally ends. Michigan concedes 2 points into their lead, but still leading 44-29.
That was definitely a more entertaining third quarter than we saw the first 2 quarters. But, man, that was a very long quarter.
Indeed, much more back and forth as both teams trading punches.
Still was curious at what was going on there at the free throw line for Michigan.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening, but Kim Barnes-Arico no doubt has a lot to say to her team after a third quarter featuring a litany of fouls, particularly down the stretch.
Yes.
Hence all the stoppages.
It was a better third quarter for Michigan, but still a little bit to clean up there, especially trying to get the passes off a little bit more cleanly each side.
As a stoppage before the fourth quarter. All right, turns out even with getting out of Ann Arbor, we can't escape the flying T-shirts, Ryan.
Nope. My luck, I probably wouldn't be able to catch one if I was out there.
Indeed, we're at a convocation center that is a little light on attendance. I don't think it's unfair to say the majority of fans here are traveling Michigan fans.
Yeah, traveling is an understatement. I don't think it's much more than a walk across the street.
Yeah, it's not much of not a very demanding trip, suffice to say. As the lights are off here at the Convocation Center. Neither team shooting particularly well in any capacity. Michigan shooting 50% from the free throw line, Eastern shooting 45%. 3-point percentage, Michigan shooting 25%, Eastern shooting 21%. From the field overall, Michigan's shooting 42%. Eastern Michigan is shooting a less than desirable 24%.
Yeah, free throws for each team have not been great today either. I think they missed more than a handful or more than a share of their free throws at that line.
As Michigan's players about to retake the floor, no substitutions from the end of the third quarter. It will be Amy Dilk, Maddie Nolan, Kayla Robbins, Naz Hillman, and Emily Kaiser. And Kim Barnes-Arico comes out for a couple instructions. Always forcefully given by the Michigan coach.
Oh, absolutely. Very passionate.
She's from Long Island. I don't think they make them any other way.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
As the inbound to Anna Chirico. Anna Chirico on the left to Agosto to Anna Chirico. Now Stanley for the long three. Air ball out of bounds. Michigan basketball. Kaiser inbound to Dilk. Dilk moving up that right side. Dilk crosses the halfway line now to Kayla Robbins on the left. Kaiser at the high point. Kaiser to Dilk. Now moves across to the center. Dilk underneath to Hillman. Now back to Robbins. Robbins pump fakes and drives into the lane. Robbins out to Amy Dilk. Shot clock at 10. Dilk trying to direct traffic. Screen set by Emily Kaiser to Dilk's right. Dilk moves to the screen. Dilk drives and is fouled. I'm not sure if they're going to charge that to Agosto or Autumn Hudson. I believe it's to Agosto. It is to Agosto.
Feels like they're driving into a wall every time they try to drive in.
And Amy Dilk going to shoot two as the stoppage of play is not taking a break. At least we got 44 seconds before the first one here. And Dilk's first free throw is good. Dilk's second is good. Somebody finally hit 2 for 2. And the inbound from Pineda to Anna Chirico. Anna Chirico overhead pass to Pineda. And now Agosto. Agosto to Pineda. Anna Chirico, long cross-court pass to Agosto, now Pineda. Shot clock at 10. Anna Chirico, overhead to Hudson. Agosto for three, and that's not going to be any good. Rebound, one-handed by Naz Hillman. Takes it away from Aaliyah Stanley. Now Amy Dilk trying to push tempo. Maddie Nolan on the right wing. Nolan to Hillman, shoot for three, Naz no. Inside to Kaiser, and Emily Kaiser goes up on the assist from Naz Hillman. And it's 48-29.
Definitely like this 2-3 zone Michigan's been. Timeout called, though, by Eastern Michigan.
And Eastern Michigan calling their second timeout of the second half.
I like that 2-3 zone that Michigan was able to come out of the break there. That worked really well, I think, defensively. Forced Eastern Michigan into making a mistake there.
And the score now, Michigan 48, Eastern Michigan 29, 8.5 minutes left in regulation. Michigan, the only team to score so far through these first 90 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Naz Hillman's close to a double-double. What do you think? Did you get there?
Absolutely. Naz Hillman only attempted one shot in the third quarter, and she made it. By Naz Hillman's standards, she's not having a great day shooting from the field, only shooting a mere 50%.
Only a mere 50%.
Naz Hillman is a career, I believe, 65%
yes, very impressive
shooter from the field. Shooter may be a bit of an overly generous term.
Yeah. She definitely plays both sides of the floor, though.
As the timeout rolls along. Kenray Johnson still Michigan's leading scorer, although she did not play in the second half of the third quarter, as she is up to 3 personal fouls, as is Kayla Robbins. Amy Dilk and Emily Kaiser have 1 apiece. Danielle Rauch and Isabel Verajao each have 2.
Surprising with Verajao that she only has 2. Wow.
And then for Eastern Michigan, Aaliyah Stanley has 4 personal fouls, 1 more and she's done.
Wow. Yeah, with all the fouls I thought were called there that third quarter, I'm shocked there hasn't been more called so far to start this fourth quarter.
Eastern Michigan with 14 fouls in the game to Michigan's 12.
With all the physicality in this game, that's an amazing amount of fouls that's not been called.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Eastern Michigan's players about ready to get back out there. And it looks like both teams' players have retaken the court. Kim Barnes-Arico finished giving her instructions. Pineda looks like she's going to deliver the inbound for Eastern Michigan. And she'll play the quick one out to Ana Chirico. Ana Chirico walks across the halfway line, now moves right. Ana Chirico to Pineda, to Agosto, to Stanley, back to Agosto at the high point. Ana Chirico, long overhead pass to Stanley. Stanley barely able to control it, and a high pass, tries to go back to Ana Chirico, but Amy Dilk tips it away out of bounds. Eastern Michigan will retain possession, but they only have 7 seconds to get a shot off. Quick inbound to Agosto by Ana Chirico. Agosto moves to her left. Agosto back out to Stanley, and that's going to be a shot clock violation for Eastern Michigan, and another turnover for the Eagles as Michigan.
Working a little slow there, man, that 2-3 zone is just so tough to play against, I think, sometimes, because you just have to make a great pass.
Dilk to Robbins. Robbins moves to her right, gives it to Dilk at the high point now. Nolan on the left wing, overhead to Kaiser. Kaiser back out to Hillman at the high point now. Robbins. Robbins thought about shooting. Going to play it inside to Kaiser. Kaiser to Nolan for 3, and that's not going to be good. But Naz Hillman with the offensive rebound. That's her 10th rebound, and she is fouled. And Hillman 1 basket away from a double-double now.
Is that a shooting foul, I believe? Yes.
It didn't seem like a shooting foul to me.
It didn't either. I think it was just the attempt.
Either way, Isabel Verajao is at the scorer's table. She's going to come in momentarily. Naz Hillman, if she makes both, she has the double-double, and the first one is no good, just rims out. So she's going to have to score from the floor to get a double-double today, and Hillman's second free throw, also no good, rebounded by Autumn Hudson. Now Pineda's going to try and push the tempo. Dilk and Nolan were back. Now Agosto, left wide open, isn't going to shoot. Back to Agosto from Pineda. Now back to Pineda. Now Ana Chirico. Stanley on the left wing. Stanley gives it back to Ana Chirico. Ana Chirico, Stanley. Now Ana Chirico. And tipped overhead pass, stolen by Robbins off the tip from Dilk from Agosto. Dilk in it underneath to Kaiser, and Emily Kaiser, the fast break bucket.
I love fast break buckets. Those things look so pretty when they're coming down the floor.
Michigan's in the 50s now as Ana Chirico at the high point. Directing traffic, gives it to Pineda. Pineda to Stanley on the left wing. Stanley's going to drive and back out to Pineda. Pineda for three, and it's good, even with Maddie Nolan's hand in her face. Eastern Michigan, another three-point shot. Michigan's up 50-32. Amy Dilk takes the inbound, crosses the halfway line. Dilk to Nolan. Nolan to Robbins. Now overhead to Kaiser. Kaiser out of the post, and that's good. Emily Kaiser getting hers underneath against this Eastern Michigan defense. And we have another timeout called by Eastern Michigan.
I'm very shocked with Eastern Michigan not taking more three-point attempts there from the floor. I think they were almost too picky, it seemed there. Like, they're trying to get away from not being aggressive, which I think is the wrong way to go about it. I think right now what they have is that they're being too aggressive to start, and then now they're just being over conservative now to the point where they're not getting shots off, and that's why you can see a couple of shot clock violations there. And not even attempt to try to take a three.
Indeed, Michigan now up 52-32. But once again, a much more spirited second half performance by Eastern Michigan here.
Absolutely.
As they have already scored more than double the number of points in so far just through less than 1.5 quarters in the second half than they did through the entire first half. They only scored 9 points through 2 quarters.
Of course, if you playing against a team like Michigan's caliber, you're going to need to get up early on them, early in the game, which they didn't really. Eastern Michigan wasn't really able to do. But then again, Michigan wasn't able to go away with the game here in the first half. But in the second half, they've been able to run away with it.
The timeout continuing. Kim Barnes-Arico has to be much happier with her team through the fourth quarter, or in the fourth quarter than she was in the third, where the team really did get in foul trouble. But now Michigan has retaken the floor. Naz Hillman taking a rest. Isabel Verajao is back in the game. Be interesting to see how they manage it here. If Naz Hillman, as we've said, is one layup away from a double-double.
But she is on the bench right now.
Stanley is going to take the inbound. Ana Chirico is left wide open at the high point. As a brief pause before the resumption of the game.
TV timeout. Still continuing.
I'm not sure the cause of this stoppage in play. There's people flexing on the cameras here in Ypsilanti.
Brief TV timeout, maybe?
Very puzzling, very puzzling. as the buzzer sounds here at the Convocation Center, and there we go. And the inbound played from Stanley to Ana Chirico, who's going to cross the halfway line. Chirico to Stanley on the left wing. Stanley overhead and barely gets to Pineda. Pineda overhead to Stanley, and Stanley has to make a wide receiver-esque play, but stolen by Maddie Nolan, and Nolan is fouled by Ana Chirico.
Wow.
And the fast break has been stopped.
Kind of shocked that was called a foul, to be honest. I thought it was just pretty good defense. Maybe
Yeah, that was
personal.
that was a little bit of a surprise, but Michigan can't complain. Amy Dilk is going to deliver inbound pass, and you're going to give it to Kayla Robbins. Robbins moves to the right. Now Robbins to the baseline. Robbins slings it out to Maddie Nolan at the high point. Inside to Isabel Verajao. Verajao's going to go up under Autumn Hudson, but cannot go, and Hudson with the rebound. Now Ana Chirico. And Ana Chirico just walked.
She's had a tough game.
And Ana Chirico knew it once the whistle was called. The inbound played to Amy Dilk from Emily Kaiser. Dilk gives it to Kaiser now at the high point. Kaiser trying to direct traffic, gives it off to Dilk. Dilk back to Kaiser. Kaiser moves to her right. Robbins on the right wing. Shot clock at 10. Robbins tries to play in underneath to Verajao, but has it stolen by Hudson. Danielle Rauch and Kenray Johnson look ready to come back in at the scorer's table. Ana Chirico gives it to Pineda. Pineda for three, and that's good. Eastern Michigan has shot the ball very well in the second half. It's 52-35 now.
Specifically Pineda. She's done very well behind the arc right now.
Nolan over the top to Verajao. Verajao, that hook shot cannot go. Offensive rebound by Robbins. That one can't go either. Rebounded by Ana Chirico. And a loose ball foul called on Kayla Robbins. It will be Eastern Michigan possession.
I think they hit about every part of that rim except the bottom of the net.
That's a how does that not go in moment as Amy Dilk and Kayla Robbins come out of the game. Danielle Rauch and Kenray Johnson check in. Kenray Johnson knocking on the door of a double-double herself. 9 points, 7 rebounds.
Absolutely great.
Ana Chirico from just inside the three-point line cannot go. Rebounded by Kenray Johnson. That's her eighth, right on cue. Now Rauch forced out to the left by Ana Chirico. Rauch to Nolan. Verajao. Verajao thinks about shooting the three, gives it to Kenray Johnson. Johnson to Kaiser, who is fouled by Kiara Johnson. And that one's going to be a foul on the floor, so Michigan will take a standard inbound.
Second half hasn't been too kind to Michigan in terms of points right now.
Rauch almost at the 5 seconds, just barely gets it off to Verajao. Kenray Johnson over the top to Kaiser. Kaiser goes up, and that one's going to go in.
Speaking of points.
And 54-35 now, Michigan maintaining their lead. Emily Kaiser now has 9 points herself. Ana Chirico. Rauch screened off by Hudson, gets it to Pineda. Now to Ana Chirico.
I go right back to Pineda.
Entry pass, barely kept in bounds by Kiara Johnson. Pineda for three and off the front of the rim. Can Nolan control the rebound? No, out of bounds. Eastern Michigan possession. And Ana Chirico going to take the inbound for the Eagles. 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. And the inbound pass tipped off of Hudson will go out of bounds. Michigan basketball. Correction, it looks like Eastern Michigan is going to retain possession as Priscilla Smingy checks in. Maddie Nolan, after a long shift, will return to the bench. Haven't seen any of Michelle Cedor in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, not much. Just trying to grab some rest, I'm guessing.
And it will be Michigan possession after that confusion is cleared up. Courtney Lewis at the scorer's table. Are they going to let Eastern Michigan make that substitution? Yes, they will. Are they?
No, doesn't look like it.
They're not going to. Courtney Lewis will have to wait her turn for a little bit. Rauch takes the inbound from Kaiser. Rauch trying to push the tempo. And now Smingy at the right wing. Smingy to Verajao. Verajao at the high point. Pump fakes. Gives it to Rauch. Rauch moves inside the three-point line. Now Kenray Johnson. Kenray Johnson pulls up. I think there was a tip to that. And that hits off the backboard. Rebound by Ana Chirico. And Courtney Lewis enters the game. I'm not sure what just happened. They called Michigan possession. I don't know if that's a jump ball.
Must have been a jump ball.
That's the only explanation. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Rauch to Johnson. Kenray Johnson goes up, and that one cannot go. Offensive rebound, Isabel Verajao is fouled, and how does that one not go in?
Halfway down and just bounced out. Wow.
And Isabel Verajao is now going to shoot 2 with her team up 19. The ball does not want to go through the hoop.
Yeah, this fourth quarter's been very difficult for Michigan in terms of points.
Verajao's first free throw is no good off the back of the rim. Verajao going to take a second. No, neither team is going to make a substitution.
I think someone put an extra spring in that rim.
Verajao's second free throw also no good. Rebounded by Ana Chirico. Eastern Michigan's going to try and push tempo. Ana Chirico to Kiara Johnson. Goes up, is fouled, and won. And the foul is called on Danielle Rauch. She looks confused. As Michigan is actually in the bonus now. Eastern Michigan not quite there yet, but Kiara Johnson will have an opportunity to complete the three-point play. Kiara Johnson's free throw is good. That one rims around and is all the way in. Kaiser, full court pressure by Eastern, gets it off to a Kenray Johnson and slings it out the opposite side to Rauch. Rauch moves to the high point, and Rauch
double dribble.
Called for the double dribble, and nobody on that Michigan sideline knows what's going on. And I think Kim Barnes-Arico just flabbergastedly yelled, "Oh my God!"
Something along those terms.
No, I think that was real. I don't. Yeah, there was probably obscenities in there. Stanley for 3, and that one's off the front of the rim, rebounded by Rauch. Under 3 minutes to go in regulation. Rauch to Johnson. Johnson overhead to Kaiser. Kaiser at the baseline. Kaiser's going to go up, gets it off to Verajao. Verajao is fouled.
Honestly, don't know how she got that pass off.
Impressive play there by Emily Kaiser. Kim Barnes-Arico does not look like a happy coach.
Not right now. Been a little bit of a disappointing fourth quarter for Michigan so far.
Isabel Verajao will now shoot 2. Verajao's first is no good. Kim Barnes-Arico asking clarification from the referee. Verajao's second, finally one goes. 55-38 now, Michigan. Inbound played quickly to Ana Chirico. Ana Chirico to Lewis. Pineda for 3. Quick shot, will not go. Rebounded by Verajao. Now Danielle Rauch. The scoreboard says Nolan's still in the game. That is not accurate.
Yes.
Smingy to Verajao. Overhead to Kaiser. Actually, it's Johnson, and Johnson is fouled on the second chance shot. That's her 9th rebound, and she will now have the opportunity to shoot 2. Kenray Johnson, opportunity to go into double-digit scoring. And a couple substitutions made. Autumn Hudson will re-enter for Eastern Michigan as Kiara Johnson goes to the bench, and Michelle Sedor will enter as Danielle Rauch takes a seat. Johnson's first free throw is no good. Whew. That ball does not want to go in.
The ball seems much bigger than the rim right now.
Johnson's second free throw. On its way, and also no good. That one rolled all the way around, and Priscilla Smingy is called for the loose ball foul. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left.
It's not the right rotation right now in that ball.
Yeah, something is not working. And Ana Chirico on the left side. Ana Chirico, long overhead pass to Pineda. Pineda to Hudson underneath, back to Pineda. Pineda to Chaplin, making her first appearance. Chaplin to Hudson. Hudson underneath the basket, gonna try and play a reverse layup, and blocked and stolen by Isabel Verajao. Michelle Sedor is running the offense now. Maddie Nolan's at the scorer's table. Smingy to Verajao. Verajao gets it out to Sedor. Sedor at the top of the key, tries to play it into Kaiser, and a quick foul is called on Ana Chirico. And be interesting to see who is going to be the one doing the shooting. It will be Emily Kaiser. Kaiser, opportunity to get into double-digit scoring. 3 Michigan players stand at 9 points. Kaiser, Verajao, and Kenray Johnson as Maddie Nolan checks in. And first free throw for Kaiser doesn't go either. And Kaiser's second, also no-go, as Ana Chirico on the left side. 1.5 minutes left in regulation. Ana Chirico to Chaplin. Off the screen from Hudson, Chaplin is going to go straight to the hoop, and that ball goes over the backboard. And another turnover for Eastern Michigan. 55-38 the score, 75 seconds left. Verajao to Sedor.
I think we've seen the last of Naz Hillman today.
Indeed, we've also seen the last of Kenray Johnson. No double-double for her. Maddie Nolan has entered the game. Nolan underneath to Verajao. Verajao is going to go up, and finally Michigan gets a basket. 57-38 the score now, and whistle blows. Doesn't look like there's going to be a timeout. 57 seconds left in the game. Michigan is up by 19 now, 57-38. Eastern Michigan's just going to roll it along. Picked up, going to dribble this one out. As 1 second remaining, and that will do it here at the Convocation Center in Ypsilanti, Michigan, as the Wolverines bounce back from their weekend loss to Notre Dame at home with a 57-38 victory here against Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, it was kind of a very, not the greatest, not the cleanest game at all, and I think right now it was just been, I think it's a lot more of a mental game right now, especially with these players going into a short little break before they come back Sunday. I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning lesson to try to be able to get off to a faster start and be able to finish at a faster pace as well.
Indeed, a bit of a sleepy quarter, as that will do it here from Ypsilanti. Once again, my name is Nick Hornberg, alongside me, Ryan Buckman. Have a great day, everybody, and go blue.